This is Discover Crypto powered by Oculus, and we're seeing a fresh dump in the markets, dumping like the torrential downpour that's happening in Dubai. We're going to look at the halving. We got some very interesting data with that. We got some hot analysis. In fact, we're even going to talk about cloud seeding. Let's discover crypto.
Ow.
Capital flight is coming to the United States. The dollar is going to zero.
And that's what makes Bitcoin so special.
You have to have gone through a couple cycles to understand.
Once the price is able to clear this level, the breakout is on its way.
This is your indication to jump in now.
Very, very funny comments. A lot of people talking about Josh being stuck in Dubai. We also got Owen. Owen is stuck in Oman, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Owen in Oman with a bunch of other crypto men, and they're all just kind of stuck there, waiting to travel to the now dry Dubai, right?
I don't know. I think it's still raining from what I heard. You could probably pull up the weather live.
We're going to look at that. We got some pretty funny clips. We got Josh's video from last night Dubai time. He's basically getting swept out to sea. We had someone in the chat, Gary the Lizard. I was watching Dubai flood footage and I saw Josh getting swept out to sea. His last words were, "Tell my runes bag I love it." Pretty accurate. I would say that's pretty accurate.
Yeah.
The weather is killing my back. Well, how about the crypto markets? Let's just go ahead and take a look here. Speaking of getting killed, I might be getting killed in a long, folks. So we closed the Cardano trade in a profit. But I just opened one 30 seconds before we went live. Nick saw it. I don't know if I'm in profit or if I'm in the negative on my Cardano long. So you see, I pulled up the 4 hour, basically caught the bottom for TIA. You know, I'm still monitoring this. I've closed most of it in profit. Probably going to try to let it ride, see if we can go bullish. Is the Cardano long in profit? We're about to look right here. It's going to be right below. Oh, it is in profit, everybody. We have maybe caught a little bit of a bottom right there. So again, we'll be watching this one. I'm going to go ahead and move that stop loss into profit as soon as possible. But let's go back to the markets here. Bitcoin is down 1.9%. Ethereum down 2.9%. BNB is also down. We keep scrolling. What do we have for some big losers? Really not too much, except for Bitcoin Cash is down 4.6%. I'm pretty surprised to see Polygon. Polygon is now down 4%.
Holy crap. 66-cent Polygon?
60, that is very cheap. Not only that, almost out of the top 20. And if you asked me a year ago, I would say Polygon's going to be flirting with top 10. It's going to be knocking on the door of the top 10.
It will.
It will. So you're saying it still can, and not only that, it still will.
Yeah.
I like that bullish sentiment.
I don't think it's really been realized all the potential for Polygon meme coins.
Yeah, I can see that. Just the whole Polygon ecosystem as a whole is not really that. There's not too much potential there, and some might say it's because they don't have any more tokens to dump, so VCs have no interest in pumping the chain. But the builders are there. The biz dev outreach is there as well. If we look, 60. Wow, what is going on here? 66-cent Polygon looks like it's on a pretty good deal right here. We kind of just look from, let's just say, from 2022, 2021. All right, so this is the beginning of 21. Kind of just been on a downward tear since then. Started 2022 right at $3. You can see 288 on December 28th. So really close to $3. Now only 66 cents. 92% of the token is released. I think it's 91.7. What are we looking at here? 92.8. Okay, it was 92.7. So 93% of the token is released. Do we have any price predictions for Polygon? If I had to guess, I mean, it definitely wants to go back to $1. This was the $1.50 spike right there. So this is around the dollar range. We peaked up to $1.23. So right now it's down 50%. Looks like a pretty good deal. If I DCA on Friday, I might buy a little Polygon. Do you hate me for that?
No, I actually love you more for that. I've been staking my Polygon for a year now.
What is your rewards on staking your Polygon?
I think it's 7%.
Okay. That's not too much sell pressure. No. It's a little bit of sell pressure. What are you staking it with?
Some third-party staker.
Yeah, okay, I mean, from Taco probably.
Yeah.
You know, one of those Taco degen staking plays.
Exactly.
All right, well, let's look. What is the biggest gainer in the? Please don't be stable coins. I know we just had a fresh dump. I haven't looked at this yet. Okay, we have BitGet token and SWE. SWE is up. Chili's is up. Near is also up. Caspa. We had a guest on that had Caspa Hawk Mining rocking the Caspa shirt. What are your thoughts on Caspa? A lot of miners like it. Do you like it?
It needs to find its legs. And
All right.
so it's not, it just needs to get a better narrative right now.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah, get proof of work, gets a good narrative. It'll probably bounce off that. Base, Eric Carlson. We had a great episode of ATB last night. Check it out.
Yeah.
Eric has some really good takes there. Eric has a bold take here. He says Base is going to make Polygon obsolete, meaning we don't even need it anymore. Nick, there begs the bigger question. Do we need 10 Ethereum L2s? And why would we need 10 Ethereum L2s?
Because you can fine tune each one to do a specific thing really well. So
yeah, great answer.
That's why. And I think I'll go ahead and ban Eric Carlson for life from the channel for fudding Polygon.
So you know, you might have one L2.
Ban Eric.
Yeah, one L2 could focus on. So OP is going to be for the builders.
Yeah.
ARB is going to be for the DeFi, the total value locked. You get one that's going to be leaning into maybe point of sale purchases at Starbucks. You know, that could be Polygon, and then you have another one that's maybe trying to do gaming, and maybe one that's just for a Coinbase centered L2, and you know, maybe other protocols or other exchanges wouldn't want to support it. Bob, where is Oman? Where Owen is? I know it's a dumb question, but I'm geographically weak. Oman is does border the Persian Gulf. I'm not the guy. Don't ask me.
It's very close to Dubai.
Okay, real close to Dubai. I'm pretty sure it borders the Persian Gulf there. At 10 o'clock, I'm not the guy.
If only there was a mapping program we could pull up.
All right, Oman on a map. On an AMP? No, on AMP network. Oman. Okay, I said 10 o'clock. I said 10 o'clock on the Persian Gulf here. Let's see here.
That's right underneath Saudi Arabia.
Okay, right underneath Saudi Arabia. I was hoping for a little bit of a bigger map there. Okay, yeah, bordering Saudi Arabia, near Qatar, near Iran. Okay, right across.
Very close to
Dubai. Wait, is this Arabian
right
Sea?
there.
I thought that was the Gulf.
Yeah.
Is that
Yemen's
another name for
there.
it? Do you know?
What's that?
Is Persian Gulf and Arabian Sea different?
Yeah.
Okay. So what is this right there? Is that the Gulf?
Believe that's the Strait of Hormuz.
Ooh, that's right. And there's that little tight, narrow bend near Iran. That's the hot spot right there. Yeah, that's a hot spot right there. All right. All right. We digress here. All right. So we do have a couple winners. Say is also moving up. Mantle. Good job, Near. Now let's look for the bloodbath. We do have a bloodbath happening in crypto right now. We're going to talk about, maybe some reasons why we're seeing the dump. Also, we're going to talk about the halving. But if we look at the biggest loser, it is Render and Stacks and Neo, and then Whiff. Whiff is down. If you look at the weekly here, we're seeing some pretty large losses here. Uniswap, Bonk is down 35%. Athena's down about 35%. Aave's down over 30%. A lot of good tokens. Filecoin, a lot of tokens down over 30% right here. Flow, Immutable X. So we're seeing a lot of corrections happening in the markets there. Let's talk about the halving, though. We covered the price action of the halving in 2020. A lot of volatility. A lot of people getting shaken out. No one knows with any 100% certainty what direction the market's going to go. But I made a bold prediction yesterday. I said, no one knows what direction is going to go, but what we do know, it's going to be violent swings. And what do we see playing out today? We see some violent swings playing out with Bitcoin and the other assets. Speaking of violent swings, I have to check on this trade. Okay, it's moving on up. We're getting close to a steak sandwich. We double this up, then we're near a steak dinner. We keep going up. We get some nice ranges. We're going to have some good wins. All right, but the Bitcoin halving. This was not surprising when I saw this, Nick. Interest in the Bitcoin halving on Google hitting highest interest ever. So isn't Bitcoin Google searches, but Bitcoin halving Google searches all-time high. Does that make you bullish?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I love it.
What do you think normies are going to take away when they Google Bitcoin halving?
That there's less Bitcoin.
Okay, I like that. So largely a bullish sentiment is going to be had by retail Googling this. I would agree.
Yeah, although there will be the contingent who thinks that the actual amount of Bitcoin is being cut in half.
Yeah. The noobs. All right, so we're going to do a live look right here. If you just hit Bitcoin halving. All right, so first thing we're seeing here, Bitcoin halving explained by CoinDesk. Then you see some news articles after what is by Investopedia. If we were just to click, this is probably going to be clicked on by a lot of normies just in, the coming weeks coming days here. An event when the reward for Bitcoin mining transaction is cut in half. So that's what they're going to be seeing here. Mining reward split in half. Normies are going to say, well, what the heck's a mining reward? And 80% will just stop. They'll just stop reading. They'll stop researching. They'll stop scratching the surface.
Oh, it's a scam. You're making it on computers? Dumb.
It's like that meme of the miner, and he's digging and he's digging and he's digging, and he was 6 inches away from the diamonds. And if he just kept digging, but he gave up. And so a lot of people are just going to say, I don't know what mining reward is, and for that reason, I'm out. Then, okay, so every 4 years, 210,000 blocks, you're going to see this. Rewards, 12.5, 6.25, and now we're going to 3.125 here. All right, so, okay, I think, I agree. Retail is going to walk away with a largely bullish sentiment here. So it reached a popularity score of 100, which is the highest level of interest ever recorded in its 11-year history. So we're going to be setting in new 100s. That's kind of how the Google trend metric works there. So we did see a 37% drop in its peak there, but we're still exceeding activity recorded in late last month there. So we're seeing it's going to spike again today. It'll spike again harder, and then on Friday, it'll probably reach its zenith there. So a lot of people are going to be researching, well, what the heck is this Bitcoin and what the heck's a Bitcoin halving? But what are the miners doing during this halving? The 5 largest Bitcoin mining firms. So you got like Hut 8, you got like Marathon, you got Nick's Basement. Are you a top 5 yet?
No, I'm just outside of the top 500.
Are you really? No, okay. I didn't know because it's so centralized. I wouldn't have been that. Actually, that'd be kind of surprising. But at a certain point, you basically give up any chances of earning Bitcoin. It's like moonshot. You're going to either get a whole block or nothing, or you join a group of people and then you guys split the reward. So the majority of miners, they do join these groups of people. So individual miners, you don't really see too many of those. So the 5 largest firms are not selling. So the big 5 aren't selling. So what are the whales doing? The whales are hodling, despite the historical data suggesting a significant post-halving drop in the mining revenue. So historically, we would see miners, they would be dumping in anticipation. We're not seeing it this time. So why aren't we seeing it? Well, selling by the top 5 have slowed to 2-year lows in the first quarter of 2024 when they sold approximately 2,000 Bitcoin. Okay, that's Mr. 100 when he's sitting on the toilet. Okay, that's a BlackRock fart. 2,000 Bitcoin is nothing. So paired with a continually increasing hash rate, the profitability of mining could take a hit after the halving. If every machine was kept on, it's going to drop by 50% in a matter of 10 minutes. Despite the gloomy outlook, the miner revenue saw a 30% increase quarter over quarter, tripling the recent lows from Q4 22. Revenue rose 4.5 billion, according to Bitwise here. This chart that we're looking at is revenue by type. Revenue from blocks, and then you see revenue from transaction fees. Ordinals are going to be a big part of this, and the runes ecosystem is going to be a big part of this. Filming a video on runes. I'll do a runes explainer, kind of just saying, what the heck it is. We looked at that thread yesterday in the live stream, doing a little bit more of a deep dive. And, just kind of what does the halving mean for Bitcoin here? So, we're seeing, the green, it's becoming a lower percentage. We're seeing, steadily seeing some more revenue from these transaction fees. Despite the halving, revenue won't necessarily fall in US dollar terms, according to this trading firm. In dollar terms, it's not obvious miners would be worse off after the halving. Quite the opposite. Decrease in rewards is going to be compensated by increase in network fees. Nick, what are your thoughts on the fees making up the drastically reduced mining rewards? I mean, can it be parity, or is it just going to you won't lose as much? You won't lose 50%, you lose 20% or 30%. Is that kind of what he's thinking here?
No, I don't know. It's hard to tell. You really got to see how the rest of the Bitcoin layer 2s pan out. That's an outlier here that I don't think anyone's really considering.
Okay. All right. Yeah. L2 ecosystem is going to be big, really, really big. And I know Josh has been doing a really good job covering that. Yeah. Here we have, we're just going to listen about the first minute of this. Grayscale CEO on, I might come back to this with the Dubai stuff. We have another halving price prediction here. There's a consulting executive here. Is Bitcoin Consulting. It's in the name. He might lean bullish here, Nick. What do you think?
Who knows?
Who knows? He might be an ETH maxi, I'm DZ.ETH, but I love Cardano. So, we don't want to judge a book by its cover here. Predicted that price will eventually reach 9 figures after the upcoming halving event. And then he has a nice 6-figure sum right there. So talking about the discussion, roundtable anchor Rob Nelson explored the dynamics of mining with Eric Miro of Bitcoin Consulting. This is big business now, Nelson remarked, emphasizing the big players in the mining industry. Adding to this, Nelson highlighted the growing interest from various investment sectors, including ETFs, family offices, and most importantly, sovereign wealth funds. If you had to bet, chat, what country is secretly buying Bitcoin today? And who's buying the most right now? So we have the U.S. government. They have a lot. They they commandeer a lot. Yep. But do you think they're actively buying? I would say probably not, because they're selling. Yeah. And so then I think, all right, so who's trying to secretly buy Bitcoin right now? You got people that are lowering their exposure to U.S. treasuries. I think these people are going to be buying Bitcoin in a major way.
Yep.
Maybe rhymes with Tusha. I don't know. What country would you think?
Similar. Yeah. Something similar to that. Yeah. Saudi Arabia.
China. UAE.
I mean, China mined all of its Bitcoin, so they've got it already.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Yeah. And so you can't really have a large corporation there without CCP having your finger in the pie right there. Yeah, so, exactly. The biggest mining entity in China, yeah, I know it's banned, but they're still there. Check the hash rate. The CCP probably has their mittens all over it, would be my guess. Absolutely. El Salvador, if they had a larger GDP, I think they would be definitely number one. I think El Salvador buys one a day or something like that, right?
I don't know. I think they do more than that.
Maybe it's one an hour? So they have a regularly scheduled DCA strategy, I believe. All right. Let's see here. Yeah, a couple other countries. Saudi Arabia, I can see being on the list there. So yeah, sovereign wealth funds, pretty exciting if we have that coming in. I say having. It is the having. It is not the having. The having makes you seem a little out of touch, elitist. Seems like it's what they would say at the Winklevosses private manor parties.
Yeah.
But not what the Degens say in the basement. The Degens in the basement say Bitcoin having.
The Jimmy Song Pete Rizzo Eyes Wide Shut party.
Yeah. At the Eyes Wide Shut parties, they're saying having.
In Nashville. Yeah, we're going to that one, right?
I have a mask, and so it's the mask I wear every single day because I'm dead inside because I've been in crypto too long, and I used to leverage trade with heavy with no risk management. Speaking of risk management, if we check in on the trade, we are doing pretty good on the trade. Nice. Maybe we caught a little bottom. I want to go ahead. Just in case something really does crap the bed, we're going to slowly play with, okay, this is 15-minute candles. Let me click to the 5-minute candles. Still want a little bit more of a retest to a downside and a bounce before I really started moving the stop loss into good areas. So we're going to continue to monitor this. This looks like maybe the first point coming in a little bit below this wick right here. If we can continue upward momentum, we'll keep this. How's that TIA trade doing? TIA's doing all right. TIA's doing okay.
TIA likes $10.
TIA, TIA. Hey, maybe we caught a pretty good bottom on TIA.
Nice.
Came in around there. So yeah, we'll monitor that. Might keep this as one of those long going trades because I've closed 70-80% of it. Why not let 10-20% of it just ride into the sunset, into Valhalla? But speaking of, oh wait, we got one more thing with the halving. I had a good segue with the sunset, but we got one more. This was a song by Little Bubble. The crypto bubble.
He just had a kid. He just had his first kid.
Oh, congrats. Yeah, congrats. He just minted a human.
I said it's layer 2.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. I also like to think it's a node for the U.S. government.
Yeah.
But anyways. All right. Here we have maybe one of the best songs from Willy Wonka, Oompa Loompa, Bitcoin version.
This is such a fire song.
It's actually pretty hilarious.
Let's make sure it works.
All right, yeah. So we're going to go ahead and do this. Oh, God, what has he done? What has he done? All right, we got that going. All right, boom, here we go.
Back. Yep, we got it.
Oompa, loompa, doompa-dee-doo. I've got another halving for you.
So fire.
Loompa, doompa-dee-dee. Less mining rewards, more scarcity. What do you get when your printer goes brr? Inflate supply like the Federal Reserve. Value go down like a lead balloon. What do you think will come of that? Satoshi's having none of it.
Okay, not bad. I think we'll cut it off there at the halfway point there. Good job there. Good job. What's your favorite Willy Wonka scene? The original, of course, not the Johnny Depp version.
Yeah. Probably when he gets pissed at the kid at the very end.
Yes, me too. Me too. Yeah, it's definitely the best part. You lose.
Yeah, you get nothing.
You get nothing. Yeah, really, really good part. Also, the beginning where he does the tumble.
Funny story. Gene Wilder told the director not to tell the kid who played Charlie that he was going to yell at him because he wanted to get an authentic reaction. And that is Charlie's actual reaction to Gene Wilder screaming at him.
Okay, I like that.
Because it was written in the script. He says it calmly, but he said, no, I'm going to go up here.
Okay. Yeah. I like it. Did you know that Aragorn, when he kicked the helmet?
Oh, my God.
Anyways, here. All right. Is this crypto research? Jorge, that was a 30-second aside. I just wanted to bring a little bit of levity to the markets because in a red day, we got to find reasons to smile. And
Jorge,
also, I'm just a big fan of the movie.
Jorge, you got to get this stick out of your ass, bro.
I wouldn't go that strong. But if you do, if you want to go with strong security, this episode, we are brought to you by Arculus One Tap Total Security.
Booyah.
I'm going to be firing up into this thing. The guy who invented this, literally, the guy who invented this runs this company. I really can't give a better ringing endorsement than that. And so Visa's like, it's good enough for our trillions. You know, probably a pretty strong security, probably a security focused team there.
And
so I want to give
link in description. If you use code DC20, you get 20% off your Arculus wallet.
Hey, I like saving money. All right, here we're going to talk about Dubai. We got a video from Josh stuck in the floods there, but we have a 50-second video talking about Dubai. This is
also
from Balaji. Say what?
This is terrifying.
This is terrifying. Cloud seeding, used to be mocked. You'd get mocked out of the room for even bringing this up. Dubai got a year of rain in one day. So in about 8 hours, they got as much rain as they usually get in 365 days, aka close to 1,000x. So they got 1,000x amount of rain there. Was it from cloud seeding? If so, that's a great problem to have. Why? Water is scarce. Construction talent is abundant, aka migrant workers with visas that are stolen, passports that are stolen.
Yes.
So build the drains and make it rain. First, get the plumbing and then get the liquidity event. So here they talk about it.
Is it going to rain in Dubai today? Just so I know. I have to drive back from Abu Dhabi to Dubai.
No.
It's not raining. It's a sunny day.
The UAE government invested more than $20 million in research to start a process called cloud seeding.
The UAE performs around 1,000 hours of cloud seeding a year, and it's all controlled by this building in the National Center of Meteorology in Abu Dhabi, where they track the whole process.
We met with a cloud seeding expert to explain how the seeding process works.
We wait the forecast. When we have a good, chance for a cloud, we send the aircraft to that location. Go under the cloud. In the first stage of the cloud, there is good updraft at that time. Start to release all the salt, and with the good updraft, of course, it will go inside the cloud. The droplets will become bigger and start to rain.
The center manufactures a salt substance that helps enhance rainfall. They put them in what they call flares.
Salt substance, isn't that what Florida Man took when he tried to eat someone's face?
Yeah, I love how they invested. Yeah, they invested $20 million in this cloud seeding, but could not afford a gutter.
Yeah, they did. I don't think they plan to get a year's worth in hours. Probably not on the agenda right there. They were like, yeah, what did we get? I don't know, like 2 centimeters. Then 20x later, you're like, our drains can't support this.
All right, show Josh.
All right, here we got Josh stuck in Dubai. Hit the like button for Josh and hit the like button for Owen stuck in Oman. Oh man.
Everybody was liquidated in Dubai. I'm here with Leo. We have been, where are you, Leo? There's Leo. We've been waiting at the airport. It took me about 30 hours to get here. Leo was at the airport for about 7 hours.
30 hours for Josh to travel. 30 hours.
Yeah, get to the part where he's in
nightmare.
We finally found some random taxi driver that we just offered money. Wasn't even a taxi driver, we just offered a guy money. And of course, he ended up giving us a ride, and I'll show you some clips right now. So shout out to the driver that we randomly found at the airport. This guy sent it. I mean, we have water up to the window here. It was coming into the car below our legs. Look at that. And he was like, you know what, screw it. It doesn't matter that it's filling up our exhaust. We're going to keep sending it. There was Maybachs. There was like Camaros. We saw really nice cars all stuck in this water.
Scott Melker said Rolls Royces are doing the worst in the water.
Really?
Just interesting note there.
They're so heavy they can't. They just sink immediately.
Yeah.
Like you had an advantage if you had a lighter car because it would kind of boat and your tires would basically act like paddles, like a
good point there. Not only that, more moving parts means more crevices for water.
Yeah. So the rollers, they're like 6,000 pounds.
Bad for everybody.
Holy
I haven't
crap.
slept in about over 30 hours at this point.
They lost his
Leo,
bag
how you
too.
feeling?
They lost his bag.
It is 4:30 in the morning. We're finally
on his
getting to our
back.
hotel.
And
the
his
hotel room was definitely
give him a baller room.
the journey of which
Like,
took
he loves the room.
36 hours in total. Now I have no idea if token
The room was
2049
$200
is
a
even
night.
still intact, but is way better than sleeping on the airport floor. But markets are seeing a
Then
little
he does
bit
a
of
crypto update.
then it's better than the floor.
Like a mad lad. He just does a
a
crypto
rebound
update now.
back up to
All
64,000.
right. Well,
This
good
one
stuff
is
there,
small.
Josh.
Good stuff,
Fighting the good fight. Fighting uphill against a stream. He's like a salmon.
Yeah.
He is a salmon going to his breeding ground right now.
Yeah.
And his breeding ground is talk about Bitcoin layer 2 ecosystem. Yeah, something like that. Well, hit the like button for Josh. That was a pretty funny situation he's got there. All right, let's talk about some Bitcoin reasons why Bitcoin is dumping, according to Crypto Quant. Not only did the perpetual traders take profit, Bitcoin's largest holders all reduced the rate at which they're acquiring. So we're seeing not so much, a sell-off, but the buying pressure has slowed down, buying pressure has diminished. And so we've seen a dramatic 13% swing, maybe even a little bit more with that if we just go ahead and hit refresh. What is Bitcoin doing? It's fallen 1.8% in the last hour. We've now fallen below 61,000. We did get that nice little bounce, but now we're kind of coming back down a little bit. So we'll be watching that pretty closely. I'll probably pull up some trading view in a bit here. All right. So we had a nice little dump there. According to a report published on Tuesday from Crypto Quant, the drop was not caused by a single incident, but by concurrent events from different actors. Randy Quaid. No. Perpetual traders took profits here. So we got traders. We got the leverage traders. They're closing. They're closing the longs here. So you can see a decrease in Bitcoin's open interest, meaning the number of longs and shorts here. So basically, traders are just kind of exiting the ecosystem. So open interest was 250,000 Bitcoin and slid 12.5%. Number 2, we have demand from the big whales, the big holders has slowed. And so addresses for spot Bitcoin exchange traded funds, aka the ETF wallets, these are the wallets between 1 and 10K Bitcoin, and permanent holders have also slowed considerably. So for these whale addresses, the month-over-month growth of their balance has slowed from 11% in mid-March to under 8% as of press time. So they kind of slowed down the rate of adoption. We're also seeing a little bit of a sell-off, a sign that the market was overheated, has placed their unrealized profits at zero, typically a bottom in bull markets. From a long-term perspective, though, Bitcoin still in a bull market phase. This little bit of a sell-off, I still feel bullish. Nick, do you still feel bullish?
I'm very bullish. I'm actually going to watch that exact interview with Arthur Hayes and Will Clement because I caught a couple snippets of it with, who is it? Lauren Shin. It looked like a great interview.
Yeah, Lauren Shin's doing a great job. Arthur Hayes just has to quit pumping his bag. He quits pumping his bag, talks about Bitcoin fundamentals, ETH, Solana fundamentals. I think he'll start doing a little bit better. But when he's like, Bitcoin's the best asset with this, and then the 5th largest holding in my wallet, and you're like, what the heck is coin number 87 on CoinMarketCap? Like, you're kind of putting it in the same conversation as these other coins. But other than that, very, very respected trader there. Here we have Pomp on MSNBC, Bitcoin crashing. 64K was a dream a few years ago. Asset is up. Pomp, no. He didn't. That's a math fail. All right, so if you're up 100%, what is that as far as X? That's a what X?
That's a 2X, right?
So if you're up 800%, what is that? It's a 9X.
It's a 9X.
It's a 9X. So Bitcoin's done to 8X. It was 8,000 last halving, 64,000.
Yeah.
That's actually a 700X pump, but we're going to let pump pass, although pump, man. You gotta understand that. I don't even want to play. I'm not even gonna play the clip anymore. He lost the ability to get that clip played. All right, yeah. So he basically just went on there. I'm very bullish because Bitcoin started the halving at $8,000 in 2020. You fast forward 4 years, Bitcoin is $64,000. He then says no other asset has performed that well. Nvidia stock, there's a couple things that have performed that well, but largely, the 8x increase for halving over halving just kind of shows you the long-term outlook for Bitcoin. Long-term outlook is bullish.
Oh yeah.
All right. If we look here, we're seeing money flow just leaving on the 24-minute. We just go to 25. We're going to see basically the same thing here. I talked about that 4-hour green dot if we got a little bit of a bullish divergence. And what did I say? I said it's going to be a scalp long opportunity. I'm not even going to try to catch the bottom of the wick. Let's just say you jumped in late. You're waiting for a little extra confirmation. You didn't even jump into the bottom of this candle. You got in at the bottom of this candle. You end up seeing a pretty nice gain of... in 2 candles, you saw about a 3%, 3.1%. You have a 10x. You got a nice 30% pump there. But now we're seeing a hell of a freaking crash.
Yeah, this is a big crash. What's the money flow?
Money flow is looking like, the money flow is actually kind of leaving right now. You can see it just kind of starting to move to the downside. We could get a little bit of a bounce. If we check out Lux Algo, we're seeing money flow also leaving. We do see same little bit of a bullish divergence, not as strongly confirmed on Lux Algo. However, I do like the 3-hour. I want to look at the 3-hour real quick. 3-hour on Bitcoin. Money flow looked like it did want to come back up, but then the money flow just took a little bit of a fresh move to the downside. That's not what you want to see here. You're seeing RSI move down as well. However, if we can get a bounce here, which we did start to get a little bit of a bounce, we got a little bit of bounce. If we can continue to bounce, feeling really, really good because then we have a very strong bullish divergence here. If we can get this, you should just see how the RSI is moving up as the Bitcoin price was moving down. Eventually, something has to give, and you're going to see a nice little short-term bounce. And so I'll be looking at this 3-hour candle. Oh, wow. This just printed 90 seconds ago. So we got a little bit of a ways. So let's go to the 1 hour so we can kind of see here. 1 hour, of course, also printed 90 seconds ago. RSI is taking a dump. RSI is taking a dump on Bitcoin at the moment right now. So we're not seeing strong divergences play out on the 1 hour, but could potentially play out there. 45-minute just to shrink the time frame a little bit. Yeah, we're starting to see RSI start to curve a little bit, but however, that money flow did take a dump. Nick, how are you feeling in the short term? Okay, we see a little RSI divergence on, there could be a little scalp here. Could be a scalp. Am I in the red yet? Am I in the red on my Cardano? I might be in the red. No, it's actually still doing well. Cardano's, our trade is still doing well. Still waiting. Well, I guess I could be lame.
Yeah.
And risk getting stopped out.
Here we go.
I'm just not going to do it yet. I'm not going to do it yet. I'm not. If the streak ends, the streak ends.
Let's watch it
happens. All right. Back to Bitcoin charts here. Let's look at the MVRV market value. Bitcoin market value to realized value score here could now suggest buying time. It is looking like a buying opportunity.
Oh boy.
Let's actually. I just want to scroll straight to it. And so, is there any way I can zoom in? Potentially, I could zoom in.
Renee Montenegro says 47K.
47K. Do you think we go lower in the short term? I think I'm expecting a short-term bounce, especially if that 3 hour plays out. We could get another little 3 to 5% pump. And then a lot of people are saying 51K is the next level. I feel like we go $2,000 in either direction. So we bounce at 53 or we do an extra dump to 49. I don't hate 47. It's kind of in that range. What are your thoughts on that?
I mean, to keep it 100.
To keep it 100?
To keep it 100. I don't really care because I'm buying alts.
Okay. So what alts are on Nick Dimondi's radar right now?
All the ones that are like 30% dips. Like there's a lot that are 30% down.
Yeah, we looked at the 7-day. There's a lot of good coins.
So if you 30%. Compare the beginning of March to now, there's some big gains to get. And I'm just using Bitcoin as my indicator to buy alts a week later. So
I pulled up the 30-day just to test your theory. What is down 30% on the 30-day? The first project really standing out? Avalanche.
Bruh.
I do feel like when you see Avalanche has a 45% pullback, very good opportunity right there.
Uniswap, say the graph. Like
say graph.
Darknet. Dude, 98 on the top 100. That's incredible. That is an incredible entry point.
Okay.
Injective, Render. I mean, these are incredible opportunities.
Matic. Yeah, I tell you what, I will DCA on Friday, Polkadot. I will ARB. ARB has those unlocks and stuff. I will DCA, and I'm going to use the 30-day red as my metric right now. If gun to my head right now, I'd probably get more graph just because retail loves the graph more than me. I think the graph is a good project. It's I like to call it an oracle in reverse. Instead of taking things off the blockchain onto the blockchain, it takes things on the blockchain and off for your dApps and your website interactions. But the Google of blockchain is just such a good catchphrase.
Yep.
Retail is just going to love that thing.
It's great.
All right. It's sticky, as they like to say.
Yeah.
All right. MVRV score. All right. You see this blue line right here? This is the important line. What are you going to say?
I said, I'm seeing it.
You see it. You see it. You see it with your eyeballs. All right. So this blue line is the 90-day moving average for the MVRV. This is the market value to realized value. That's just basically saying, when they get the coin versus, what the coin's price is today. It's mathematical equation. And so when it touches this, you typically see a nice little bounce. Sometimes, even when it touches it, you got a little short-term bounce, but things were just so bearish, we ended up going below, and then we really blasted off. Here you can see the same thing. We kind of touched it, traded sideways. Nice little fake out bounce, but then we stayed below, and then it was a nice little blast off. Here we went below, nice little fake out bounce, retest to the downside, and then boom, off to the races. And we just touched the 90-day recently, folks. So we just touched it in the last couple of days. And so if you look here, led to a bounce, led to a crash below, led to a crash below, essentially led to a bounce. So we're 50-50 over the past 12 months. I'm not going to say, I know which one it's going to do. It's going to do this. But if I had to guess, that's what people are watching for. DZ, put your money where your mouth is.
Come on.
From a market perspective, from a market structure perspective, seeing this M pattern, that is a bearish pattern. However, I'm going to say, no, it's a W pattern and I'm bullish. And so I just always lean eternally bullish. I can't help myself. I know that about me. That's why I don't short during bull markets, because I'm too bullish. And so I'm telling you, I am biased, and I'm biased to the upside, and my bias is clouding my judgment, and I'm feeling like it's a bounce. Do you think it's a bounce, or are we crashing down below the 90-day?
Below the 90-day?
Yeah, below the blue line. Do we bounce or go below the blue line here?
Probably go below.
Probably go below.
There's so much uncertainty in the larger markets. The equities markets are getting absolutely hammered right now. There's rumors of war. There's the Japanese economy's in free fall. There's a lot of just general volatility overall, and there's not bullishness on the macro. There is for crypto, but not for the macro, and so gonna be a little dicey for the next. All
right. We got Nick getting into debates in the chat. What is better, DOT or Solana? I think there's an argument where you could say DOT's tech is quote unquote better than Solana if you look at Solana's outages. Solana could say the same thing. Well, DOT, you too would have broke if you got that much of a load or a transaction load. So nice. I'm not a dev, so I don't want to weigh in too much.
Eric Carlson and I are actually agreeing with each other. He's like, you're setting a low bar with that comparison. I'm just saying DOT's tech is better than Solana, but so is a lot of other people. Solana's tech is not that great. Okay. It's just not.
All right. People are talking about Arrow. Is Arrow on sale right now? Arrow's down to $1.50. Was what, $2.15?
I'm going all in.
225 on that little spike right there. Other than that, largely.
When I get my tax break or my tax refund back, Arrow.
All right. I gave another low cap call, Suku. Please be, oh God.
Yeah.
This one's going to be 20% in either direction, and I'm scared to move the mouse to reveal what this is going to be. Whoa, 40% whoa. I did not expect a 40% pump. All right, chat, I feel good. Maybe 1% of you bought some Suku when I mentioned it yesterday, but the 1% that bought the Suku, woo on the Suku there. Wow, I did not expect a 40% pump. It is down tremendously. I think I actually got in around here, so 22, I think. So I might actually be down. I should have loaded up more. I did not take profits at the top. because I'm a little bit long-term bullish on this one. Market cap only $46 million. So someone bought it yesterday probably and did great. All right, we have a couple more Bitcoin stories here. Scaramucci. Mooch. Mooch has looks like he's drinking the hooch. Bitcoin cannot be a store of value unless we got 1 billion users. It's just, I don't know where he comes up with that number. That's what I would call a suspiciously round number. Why is it 1 billion? Why isn't it 742 million? Why isn't it 1.3 billion? He's saying it is not a store of value. It's not a perfect safe haven during a war. Yeah. It feels a great store of value. I don't know why he's so bearish on this. It cannot, can't help but laugh, cannot be an inflation edge or store of value at the current percentage of global adoption. It needs more adoption before it can be widely considered a hedge. Well, that's just kind of weaseling out with the word widely. So yeah, sure, I agree. It won't get that as a widely considered, classification. Sure, I would agree with that. Sure, it won't be widely. Hey, we have this day in history.
Oh, Rizzo.
Yeah, this day in history. Big shout out to Rizzo here. Bullish on Bitcoin history. He's editor of Bitcoin Magazine, editor at large Kraken. Satoshi Nakamoto sent his 50 Bitcoin to Hal Finney right here. And he sent another 32. I don't know what the 32 is to. Exactly 15 years ago today. 2 of the only known transactions by Satoshi himself.
Wow.
So cool stuff right there.
Wow.
Yeah. Is Hal Finney Satoshi? I'm leaning towards... no one knows. I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on who is Satoshi?
No.
Yeah, it's hard to say. It's the NSA, say a lot of people.
It's Craig Wright.
It's the founder of Link. It's Sergey. It's not Sergey, y'all. All right, Bitcoin cap versus USDC cap. Seems like the stable coins want to tell us something. The orange line makes sense. That's Bitcoin. Yellow line is what we're seeing with stablecoin issuance there. You can see when it's flat, boy, the markets like to dump. So looking, it got flat right there. Market started to dump. Semi-flat, we had a nice little correction. Yeah. But during here, the thing just started jumping up. So keep printing Tether. We want to see more and more Tether get printed. Willy Woo says Bitcoin is here to stay. So take that mooch. Lynn Alden saying Bitcoin hitting 100K plus wouldn't be surprising amid the rising liquidity. What is her timeline?
What the hell is that picture?
Apex Trader. I know when I look at that picture, I think of trading Bitcoin. For Bitcoin, most indicators are tracked to mid-cycle in terms of the bull run. Still, she's looking at 18 months of a more for the bull run. So I'm a Q3 2025 guy. I'm coming in closer to 15 months. How long do we have left in the bull run, Nick? I say 15 months. Chat, what do you say? What do we got? 12 months? Some might say it already happened.
Yeah, throw your guesses in the chat. How long we have for the Bitcoin top? That's what you're talking about, right? Like when is the Bitcoin top?
Yeah, before the cycle top is. Then after that, it's just kind of down and to the right slowly.
Yeah, I think we're less than a year away. That's just me though.
So you think because we're like 8 months ahead of schedule compared to where we usually are with the halving, that Bitcoin top will also be about 8 months ahead of schedule?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. All right. So less than 12 months. Someone else, Elliot J, less than 12 months. He's saying the top is this year, so in April 2025. I like April 2025 because that mimics the first bull run of 2021.
I think 100K this year, but that's not the top.
Okay. 14 to 17 months out, 6 to 8 months. June 2025. I will say this. Historically, the markets don't like to peak in June, July. Maybe because New Yorkers leave. I don't know why. That's kind of like my best guess. Just markets historically take a cool down period when it heats up. Q2 2025, 6 to 8 months. January and May 2025, a little double top there. Q2, Q3 2025. I'm still going to say a date, September 27th, 2025. I'm just kind of leaning towards September, and I had to come up with a number, so it was my late mother's birthday. All right, so they're saying 18 months. I like 18 months, maybe a little bullish. All right, keep rolling here. We got the mooch. We did that. Demand for the ETF stagnate for 4 straight weeks. Let's just get the skinny here. What is HODL 15 Capital? What is the latest ETF inflows? Breaking news, 16 minutes ago. Mr. 100 stacking hard, buying nearly all newly mined coins before the halving. 4 100 tranches bought today. So far, 6 yesterday and 8 2 days ago. Mr. 100, we salute you.
Daddy, chill.
Hit that like button for Mr. 100.
Wow.
Great stuff there. Probably up bit, but it don't matter. I like it. I like it. It could, you know what? It could be my grandma. It's a good thing no matter who it is.
Yeah.
Currently, they're buying more than BlackRock and Fidelity combined. All right. The reason I pulled this page up, let's look at the ETFs as of yesterday. So we got the data here. This is the skinny. We're looking at 416. It's right here on the right side. Some of these numbers are small, hard to see, so I'll go ahead and read it out for you here. No net change. No net change. Oh, wait. Oh, they added like 20. Fidelity added like 20 Bitcoin. Literally like 20. Okay. 22 to be fair. All right. I'm seeing a decrease for ARK, 43,748 to 43,531. So about 200 on the decrease. So we don't want to see that. No net change, 50 more for Van Eck. So we're not seeing too much. All right. So let's just look net day over day. It was a decrease, folks. It was a decrease. We decreased 917. So we got 3 days of net outflows. It's not what we want to see, obviously. If I was to walk away with some kind of bullish sentiment, all right, let me dash in some hopium here. Look at the daily changes to the upside. 6,000, 1,000, 2,000, 2,000, closer to 3,000. What do we have to the downside? 300, 800, 600, 900. So the upside days are beating the downside days. And not only that, we have more upside days than downside days. These are broken down into weeks. So we're kind of looking at days here and weeks on the left side. So as long as we continue to just have higher upside, I'm still long-term bullish here. So that's the freshest data on that. Hit the like button if you like that hot, fresh data. All right, here we have some Michael Saylor stuff. Dumping more MicroStrategy while leveraging up on Bitcoin. I mean, that's the strategy there. You know, dump the stock, lever up, buy more Bitcoin. Here we have earnings season is kicking off, so it's going to be a pretty important week. S&P 500 companies' growings are estimated to grow 3.4% after 4.2% in Q4. So we're still seeing growth. We're just slowing down the growth there. So most are scheduled to report in the next week. So most of the S&P 500. So yeah, we'll watch like the big companies there. Netflix, TSM, Taiwanese. What is TSM again? Risky click. Careful here.
TSMC.
Yeah, that's TMSC. That's what I was thinking of.
TSMC is
TSMC.
the semiconductor.
TSM. I don't know. Someone in the chat, let us know. What is Nick? I think Ton is going to surprise with meme coins.
Yes.
Well, we do have some Ton news. Let's see if I can find. I have a
Tons of news.
Tons of news on Ton. Here we have the CEO and founder of Telegram. Telegram was the company that launched Ton. Here we have just a little clip here. I had a few $100 million in my bank account or in Bitcoin since 10 years ago. So Telegram founder, aka Toncoin architect.
Also, for me, it was never about money, right? So I have a few $100 million in my bank account or in Bitcoin since 10 years ago, and I don't do anything with it. I don't own any like real estate, jets,
no real estate,
or yachts.
No Black Hawk helicopter.
This lifestyle is for me. I like to focus on what we are doing with Telegram.
You don't own anything? Like big assets? You don't own
no big assets. Exactly.
An island in Hawaii or no
land, no real estate, nothing.
Why?
Well, because for me, my number one priority in life is my freedom.
All right, but you know what I bet he does have? 12 words stored in his brain. Mm-hmm. I bet he has, that's one of those people, you know, he knows his private keys by heart there. All right, so yeah, very, very big bull there. Doesn't get more bullish on Bitcoin, though, than El Salvador. Google officially opening an office in El Salvador, furthering Bukele's goal of turning the country into a tech hub.
Dude, I'm not kidding, man. We have got to look at land in El Salvador.
Yeah.
Like, it is, I can stay in El Salvador at a beachfront condo, 4-bedroom, 5,000 square feet. Guess how much for an entire month?
All right, beachfront condo for a month.
Yes.
$1,000?
$2,500.
Okay, that's still pretty good.
That's freaking awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
Like there's like a garage and there's like no one. It has like land and a pool and everything. $2,500.
What do you think it costs in Miami a month? It's $2,500 a day.
Yeah, I mean
probably
$30,000.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. So yeah, I would say that's pretty good reducement there. Crypto slip as Powell doubled downs on delaying the rate cuts. Yeah, it seems like the rate cuts are kind of dictating the crypto market right now.
Yep.
We kind of covered that a little bit more yesterday, so I don't want to double down too much on this. But Powell's kind of holding Bitcoin underneath his heel here. U.S. debt interests. This is scary, folks. This is really, really scary. I think I have another post related to this I might want to share as well. So the debt is just looking terrible. I got another little metric I wanted to show. Speaking of land,
1
year change in housing inventory, the shift, 57% more inventory in Florida versus a year ago.
Wow. Look at freaking Nevada.
Yeah, Nevada, one of the few that's like in the negative. We also have, what is this, Iowa? Iowa's also down. No, it's Illinois. That's Illinois, right? Nevada, 26% less houses for sale. California, I thought California would have been higher, 11%. Texas, 31% more homes for sale.
Yeah. So what's happening? You know what's happening in Florida?
Uber people are having to sell their like extra homes.
It's the Airbnb fallout.
I said Uber. I meant Airbnb. Yeah, it's the Airbnb fallout there.
Absolute nuclear bomb of Airbnbs happening in Florida. So
not good at all.
You can buy a condo in Florida for pretty cheap now.
I entered along in 2 coins.
Okay.
Tia and Cardano.
Wow.
And then I saw Kyle Dupes tweeting Tia bouncing back, showing resilience above a key support band here, level. Staying above the support could signal the start. All right, but back to debt. The reason I brought this up, the yen is collapsing. Turns out the collapse of the currency and the price is now paying for years of crazed monetary policies. Yen drops to 155 against USD, down 32% since 2021, down 50% in the last dozen years. Bank of Japan taught central banks a big lesson. You can get away with endless amounts of money printing, no problem. See how we're doing it? We keep buying our national debt with freshly printed money, plus a bunch of other securities, and there won't be any piper to pay later down the line. Well, it turns out that was fugazi. The yen is collapsing. There is a price to pay. The destruction of your currency. And so, we're seeing the yen essentially collapse in real time. And that takes us to this story right here. Interest debt payments to reach $1 trillion. So, we saw what happened with Japan. Okay, our debt is rising. What's the best way to get out of this unsustainable debt? Well, we could devalue the currency. And so that $1 million debt now feels like a $500,000 debt.
Yeah.
It doesn't sting as bad. We just printed our money out of it. And so, don't worry. It can work. You don't know what you're talking about. These smart economists who studied for decades, they told me it works. Well, we're seeing it play out. We saw the experiment in Japan, and the experiment is failing. And so a lot of people are turning to quality assets instead. And I know what quality assets I'm buying. El Salvador beachfront property.
Hell yeah.
All right. I was questioning DZ's National Geography right now. Was it the Oman thing? It was the Oman thing. It's the Iowa. Was that Iowa? Now I want to know. I don't know. That is, you ever see those things where people can't even guess like 20 states? They get the major ones. I got Maine, got California, and then everything in the middle. They're like, what?
There's the one video on TikTok of this guy saying, what's the country with the lowest IQ? And he was asking people in Europe, and pretty much everyone said the United States.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, don't look up that list.
Do you know what it is?
The Clintons love the country with the lowest one.
Do you know that? No, they actually know. I don't think you know the country with the lowest IQ is.
I mean, is it? I don't want to piss people off.
No, you can.
I thought it ended in the letter I.
No. It's Nepal.
Nepal.
I did not know that. I'm kind of shocked.
That passes the sniff test.
Doesn't pass the sniff test?
Nepalese engineers. Isn't that a term you felt like you've heard? I don't know. Maybe.
Oh.
You know what? A lot of people say that test is just nonsense anyways. All right. A dollar gets back on top, overtakes the yen, yuan, and the rupee. And so, hey, our currency is collapsing, but it's okay because theirs collapsed harder. And so fine, it's fine, folks. I know that house is burning, the kitchen is burning down, but we're sitting at the table and we're saying everything is fine. There's the yen tweet. Korean won surpasses US dollar as most traded currency for crypto in Q1. Found that pretty interesting. Maybe it's like arbitrage bots right there. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. This is kind of breaking. They're like on CNBC and MSNBC right now. U.S. senators introducing bill prohibiting unbacked algorithmic stable coins. So no more fake money. What are you guys? Now, really, the question is, what do they consider backed? So if you back it by Bitcoin, does that count or does that not count? If you back it with Terra Luna, your UST, maybe that shouldn't count, but should you count Bitcoin or should you only count U.S. treasuries? And so the language in the bill is what's going to be important here. Wants to make sure they have them fully backed, must be backed 1-to-1 in cash or cash equivalent. So these algorithmic stablecoins do not have verifiable backing. So they do want cash or cash equivalent, AKA please keep propping up U.S. treasuries, because the writing's on the wall. People see how much debt we have. Countries are less interested in buying our debt. And in fact, they're buying gold and Bitcoin instead, or they're trying to make their own group currencies like BRICS. We can't have that. So let's go ahead and introduce this bill that makes stablecoins be backed by treasuries.
Yeah.
Gold headed for 3K in the next 6 to 18 months, according to Citibank. So gold bugs take a victory lap. I still feel like I'd rather buy silver because of the ratio there, but I don't know. I accidentally X'd out that article, whatever it was. We don't know what it was. We sold everything 10X. Yeah, so 10X, they're selling everything. They're de-risking. I want to see what the number was. A week ago or a couple weeks ago, they said we're going to 80K. People are like, bro, you're changing your mind every 2 seconds. In the last 8 days, you called for 80K. And then you said it'd be choppy for months. And now you're saying you're selling everything. That's retail style day trading. Here's where it was. Yeah, they implemented a stop loss strategy at 68K 300. If you can't handle 5% dips, 4% dips, get out. Get out. You're not meant for this market.
Unsubscribe.
It's probably not a good strategy. That's all I'm going to say. ETH versus Bitcoin, 60% ETH collapse.
Oh my God.
Is that on the horizon? I said I pulled some trading view. I haven't done it yet, except for the little bit of Bitcoin there. Bitcoin on the 7-minute, you better bounce, you SOB. I'm watching you. I am watching you. We go back to that 3-hour. RSI is still not below. We still got chance for a bullish divergence on the 3-hour. All right, ETH BTC. That's what we're going to be looking at. This is the value of Ethereum relative to Bitcoin. What you see right here is the percentage of a Bitcoin that one ETH makes. So one ETH is right below 5% of a Bitcoin. How high has it been in history? About 15. All right, let's scroll. Let's do this. Boom, boom, boom. Yeah, in the early days when ETH spiked to 1K around the first time, it went up to 15% of a Bitcoin. In the bull run of 2021, ETH went to 4K. Bitcoin had a little bit of a crash. Went up to about 8%. You know, about 8%. It's going to be about 12 Ethereum equals 1 Bitcoin. Right now, it's about 21 Ethereum equals 1 Bitcoin. So we went from 12 ETH equals Bitcoin to 21 ETH equals Bitcoin. Do you have a number in your head that's like a fair value? Like 5%, 6%, 7%, or it's just not really linked in your mind?
It doesn't even make any sense to me to think.
Well, Ben Cowan is pissed off you feel that way.
You know what, Ben?
Ben's a smart guy.
Yeah, he is. I like Ben Cowan. Ben Cowan. No, I always think of just Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the hard asset, and then Ethereum and all those other tokens are, Web3 tech implements. That's the way I think about it.
Yeah, it might be time to draw some new trend lines here on the bottom. Maybe trying to catch that one right there. Okay, so we fell below that. Maybe we're looking at that right there. Okay, so if I were to try to trade it, I'm not saying I'm trying to trade it, I would probably draw this trend line. This is a weekly chart, so this is a long-term trend line that we're looking at here. You see it came down, So we could potentially drop a few more percentage points, 4.4, so 4.8 to 4.4. Not seeing too much of a dip there, but when I was trading Bitcoin and Ethereum, I would look at the Bitcoin Ethereum trading pair, and I would see what needs more of a bounce, and then I would trade ETH or Bitcoin, depending on, because you can kind of see a lot of the same things in the same charts there. But then I would look at the strength relative to each other and try to make trading decisions that way. So yeah, it's always good to look at your asset paired in Bitcoin just when you're feeling too bullish. And then you can go ahead and get that little hope of reality where you're like, oh, I've actually lost Bitcoin, even though my altcoin is up 30%. Bitcoin's up 50%. So I'm actually kind of down. And folks, if you do like live streams coming to you Monday through Friday, if you like us having war correspondents in flood zones,
absolutely,
like Anderson Cooper, hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. It doesn't cost you anything. And we're bringing video content 7 days a week. All right. We love you, Lizard. Gary the Lizard got timed out. What'd he do?
He asked me to put him in timeout, so I am easy to hand out discipline.
All right. So the floggings will commence, is what you're saying.
Until morale improves. Yeah.
ICP is branching out their tech. Now they're trying to aim with some Bitcoin implementation as well. I would say this is just going to be good. ICP's got good tech. You regularly see them on top of GitHub repositories there. I think that's going to continue. The new ASI token. We got a couple details on the Singularity, Ocean, and Fetch token planning to launch in May.
It's big.
I would say it's big too.
Yeah.
What do you think about my thesis? 95% of crypto AI companies will not be able to afford operations, meaning 95% will fail.
If they're trying to actually be the
if they're trying to do the training data themselves or host a LLM themselves,
they have to niche down. There's no way they can go toe to toe with ChatGPT or Gemini or Claude or Grok
or Tesla when it comes to spatial learning with physical environments. And
that may be a niche for a specific blockchain, but like what I learned at the AGI conference was each AI, which LLMs is like a small portion of what AI can do. They just have to niche down, so they cannot go toe to toe. There will never be a Singularity LLM that's going to compete with ChatGPT. There just cannot be.
Yeah. Oh, I 100% agree.
Yeah.
Alt have dipped 50%. Here comes 56, 58K Bitcoin. Potentially. That's why the long is a scalp.
Yep.
So thankful I found this channel in the group of similar channels. Talon, I hope you're riding these wins with us, like Arrow, which we gave a 10x just in about a month. But someone has a question about Arrow here. I bought 10 quant at $85. Should I put some of that into Arrow? He doesn't have enough Arrow. So let's pull up quant, aka the stable coin, at $100.
Yep.
Quant right now is probably within 10% of $100. Sorry, 1%. It's within 1%.
So he made a 25% gain on his quant.
Yeah, he got a little good. He got a good gain there. Not quite 20, about 20, 25, about 20% there, 85. Okay. So yeah, he's up on his quant. Should he get Arrow? First thing I would look at is market cap. I see 1.4 billion for quant, and we look at Arrow. What are they, about 250?
250 million?
1.5. Oh wow, they're up to 600 million. They must have had another event. Let's see here. No, not really. Wow, I had no idea it was only worth. It's already 1/3 of Quant's valuation.
It's outside of the top 100, so I like it.
I like it. Quant is ranked 65. Arrow's 120, 135. What did I say? 129. Yeah, I wouldn't mind putting 2 to 5 Quant into Arrow, if not the whole thing. What's your thoughts on DPIN? This particular project, IOTEX. If you had any chance to buy, would you? I am in the DPIN category. Those who don't know DPIN, DZs came up with a simple way of explaining it. Compute Storage Communications. What's DPIN? Compute Storage Communications. It's that simple. So I'm not sure on that particular project, but I'm bullish on the space. Speaking of communication, do you remember my communication pick?
No, I don't.
Mobile. It was a mobile play. World Mobile Token.
Oh, yeah.
WMT has been melting faces in the past 30 days. It's down 6% today. But if we look over the last... Yeah, we had a great exit point. So you can get in at 20 cents here.
Yeah.
And you had an exit point more than a 2x essentially in a week. And so, yeah, World Mobile Token, they got a lot of cool things that they've been doing. They got a little Starlink thing that they're doing. They're helping a lot of things overseas. And so even if you bought now, you're still, even if you bought or didn't sell, didn't take any profit, you're still up 35%, almost 40%. So good job there. I don't hate coming in below 30 cents. It's a $150 million market cap there. IAG, Iagon is my DPIN play. Iagon's been doing great as well. IoTech is nice. World, that's an AI play. Oh, World Mobile Token. Yeah. Easy. Based on history, do we still dump after the halving? No one knows for sure. Will we continue to see 20% corrections? I do think we'll continue to see some 20% corrections. If we go to the 3-day here, not everyone knows this, but we've been kind of correcting like clockwork, everybody, on this run up. Is this the okay? It was almost too wide. Let me go to the daily so I can kind of see a little bit better here. All right, so this is the story of a girl. Now this is the run up here. So we're gonna go ahead and start at boom 2021. We peak, then we kind of bottom. I was like, what the heck is going on here? Why am I not seeing what I want to see? That was ETH Bitcoin. That might explain what DZ was doing there. All right. So now let's see 20% correction. Now I've done this before. I'll do it again. 21. What you do for me? All right, here we got another one. 20. Here we got another one. 20. So we keep seeing 20% corrections, right? We keep seeing it. What do we got here? There's no way it's going to be within 2 percentage points of 20 again, is it? Oh, what do you know? It is. So we keep seeing it. So stands to reason we're going to see it again, folks. What do we have thus far? 18.55. So, that could be the bottom. I think we're going to go up and then we're going to do it again.
Oh,
and then we're going to do it again. The reason I think we went from 40% pullbacks to 20% pullbacks is Larry Fink and BlackRock. I think BlackRock is now involved. We have a little bit more money in an ecosystem, the less volatile the swings. Also, it's embarrassing. You're Larry Fink. You're the CEO of BlackRock, some say the most powerful institution in the world. A lot of people actually say that. And if you're selling this asset, you're on MSNBC, you're on Fox, you're trying to sell this asset. Go buy our iBit ETFs. Go buy it. It's such a good thing. You don't want 30% corrections. You don't want 40% corrections. Why? Because then you look stupid. Then you go to the country club or you go to the 87th floor at the executive diner and you hear a bunch of whispers. That's that guy that told me to buy that Bitcoin ETF. Yeah. He doesn't want that. And so, maybe there's some machines out there that get triggered to start buying, like the T1000, up 20% dump. Let me go ahead and just start buying. I'm not, maybe it's just people seeing, it keeps bouncing at 20%, so I'm going to start buying. Could be that one as well. Xverse has a tournament, $50,000. So, hey, folks, you want to make some money? CCC, he's got really good Web3 gaming opportunities. Yep. Folks, if you're a gamer, get you some of that $50,000. So, Crimson, thank you for the support there. We love Crimson. I like the color, too. Yep. You wear Crimson a lot, Nick.
I do.
Why do you like maroon?
I don't know.
Do you like Maroon 5?
No.
All right, just wondering. All right, let's end it with Cardano here, folks. Right. We'll wrap it up. 4 boys in is Cardano outlook for 2024. Essentially, they're pretty not going anywhere. They're like saying, it could go up, could go down. So here's 2024 outlook. Suggests a bullish trend in the near future, but they also said there's no indication for imminent decline. I had a little bit of an issue. They're saying, it's doing this. The active addresses. Yeah, so the active addresses, this is probably the worst metric about Cardano. This is the thing that makes me feel a little bit bearish. You can see active addresses kind of climbing since September of last year. Folks, that's like 7-8 months. So we've been kind of on like a nice little run for the last 8 months. If I were to be bullish, though, it ran up to $3 with nothing more really than a wallet. Yep. It had just launched smart contract capabilities, and off that hype, it went from 2 cents to $3. Yay. Cardano did 150x.
Yep.
Just last month, they deployed 1,000 unique smart contracts. And so, there's a lot of builders on there. It's not too active a community, but I think once they get a couple dApps, and Cardano people don't like selling Cardano, more so than Solana, more so than ETH, potentially even more so than Bitcoin, more so than a lot of favorite of your altcoins there as well. All right, Black Hawk, I brought that up because Charles Hoskinson actually has a Black Hawk helicopter. He was kind of discussing the details lately. He outfitted it, Nick, you probably like this, for forest fires of his Wyoming ranch.
That makes sense.
So it's been converted where it can dump water.
That tracks.
And also he says that the supply chain for the parts is the best out of all helicopters. Oh, yeah. So if something breaks, it's the easiest to fix. You don't got to wait 8 months for a cargo ship to be shipped out of through the Strait of, we're not even going to go there. Yeah, we're not even going to go there. All right, Man City. All right, people watching football. Does active address mean wallets that hold ADA? I think it means it is transacted in the last 30 days. Hosky makes money leasing G his helicopter. I don't think Charles would charge Wyoming to put out a forest fire, but he might. Maybe he sends an invoice for the gasoline.
Sure, he
something.
should. Absolutely should.
Hey, he should. Nick's got a dip. All right, well, folks, we all got a dip. We're all going to dip. When I dip, you dip, we dip. And go ahead and dip your finger on the mouse as you hover above the like button. Really appreciate it. Big shout out to Arculus. Go check them out. We got a 20% discount, DC20 at their website. That's all we got. Easy out.
Yep.
Ow! Stay dry, Josh.
Stay